It was never in doubt. Before the game, Tottenham, when did Tottenham ever win a big game? When did Tottenham ever go somewhere and surprise you and win? Against the odds. The odds were massively in favour of Liverpool. They're at home at Anfield. They're the best team in the country, possibly the best team in Europe right now. But it's not just their Spurs team. They never shock you. They never do something out of the ordinary. I'm trying to think the last big game they won. And I probably have to go back to that Ajax game in the semi-final of the Champions League. And I was in the stadium that night. And I don't want to take you all the way from Tottenham. They were very lucky. They got battered for most of the game. A bit of a freak. I mean, they got 2 goals in the last minute. But whenever they go into a big game as a football club, no one ever believes they're going to win. And that's not me as a Liverpool fan. Those Tottenham fans, they hate it, right? Not one of them would have believed that they'd have gone home and they'd have gone to Wembley. They just won't. Isn't it strange that Liverpool put 4 past them? Liverpool are in the final, and there is no doubt amongst the group here that Tottenham are the story. Yeah, I think because we just expected a bit more from them tonight. I just cannot get my head around not having one shot on target in a semi-final. I know the 1/2 chance when Son manufactures something great, step over and hits the bar, but even then you just felt the game had gone for them. And I just think when you when you come into a semi-final, and I know it's always difficult when you're 1-0 up and you come to Anfield, and we all talk about the pressures and the noise and everything that goes around it, but I just felt, first off, they were trying to play it from the back. The goalkeeper's edgy in midfield. They never showed any courage to get on the ball and make things happen. They were so abject. And it wasn't the inexperienced players, it was the experienced ones that I was looking at and thinking, well, go on then, lead the team. Son's your captain. Show something, show some character. Get on the ball. Kulusevski, nothing. And I think it's too easy to say, well, yes, they have had injuries. They've absolutely, Van de Ven, I say less about Romero because I think I watch him enough and he can give away a lot of goals when I watch him. But Van de Ven is obviously a big miss. But there's still enough players there to cause Liverpool some problems. I've seen squads beating Tottenham lately. I look at Ipswich. Do you think Ruud van Nistelrooy would have loved to have had that Tottenham squad beforehand, but they still get beaten by Ipswich? Crystal Palace beat them. There's so many different games. I know you did the Everton game not long ago, Jamie. Everyone seems to find a way of beating this Tottenham side. And I think the manager right now, he baffles me with his tactics sometimes. I think he's completely lost in what he's trying to do. He said, this is what I do. You have to adapt. You have to change. And if you haven't got the personnel that you want, then you have to make sure that your tactics are different. You look at what Newcastle did yesterday. Eddie Howe showed a way of beating an Arsenal side by going man-to-man, being aggressive. Newcastle will not give the respect that Tottenham gave them today. And I know Newcastle are a better side, but they're more aggressive and they'll get on the front foot. Tottenham showed them miles too much respect today. We've all been critical of the manager and me. Going back to the 6-3 game, when I look at those 3 midfield players today, I don't do it a disgrace. Those Tottenham midfield players, no matter who your manager is, you're playing the semi-final. We're talking about them getting on the ball. But we all come into this game, and if you're a Tottenham man, you know first 15 minutes, half an hour, Liverpool are going to be on the ball, going to put you under pressure, but get after them, be aggressive, maybe forget the ball the first half an hour, be aggressive, even if you're counting your own half. It was still so easy for Liverpool to get to the edge of the box. I think this is where they're at the moment. I've seen them all season. How bad they are, how poor they are. I saw them against Everton, they got blown away. That 3 in the first half played Leicester last week, and you're thinking, unless they turn up to the Tottenham Stadium, surely they can't win. They hadn't won in 7, lost 7 on the bounce, and they'll come and do. Spurs have got this performance in them. And that's why I came here, and I said for Spurs to go through, they had to play to their level, and Liverpool had to dive in off night, and it couldn't be any worse. It went the other way. Liverpool absolutely hounded them all over the pitch. They were far superior to what Spurs were. But pre-match, we were all saying, actually, that looks like quite a physical Tottenham team there. They brought Danso in, that midfield 3. We were all saying, it looks like a physical team, but it wasn't a physical team. I think he picked that team thinking, okay, we're not going to come here. How we've criticized Dan's post. Let's not forget we've called him naive at times, putting fullbacks into midfield, leaving themselves open. That looked like a team that was picked before the game, was actually saying, you know what? We're going to try and make it difficult for Liverpool. We're going to go with powerful players. No number 10s, just 3 proper central midfield players. So in terms of actually getting on the ball, yes, they lost the ball for the first goal, but I thought that was a team to try and stop Liverpool and nullify Liverpool. And I think, well, okay, that's what most teams would probably do, come into Anfield with a 1-0 lead. But those 3 midfield players, didn't anybody put a challenge in? So easy to play against them, so easy. It was shocking, but bearing in mind, when we were at Newcastle last night, one of the things that was specifically said to us by Eddie Howe and Kieran Trippier, amongst others, we knew we had to go out and be physical and get in their faces. Get into them. I think that was a massive banner behind it. It was, in the Carragher end, they said get into them, make it difficult for them, set the tempo. And that's always a thing that you have to do here. And I totally get the game now, where you have to play out from the back. But there are times, and more than any place in world football right now, this isn't the place to do it. The keeper gets the ball, he's passing it to his left back or right back. They're playing out, they're trying to play into midfield, they're losing the ball, you're asking for pressure. It wasn't working. So then you have to think, all right, well, why don't we then clip one into the space? You've got Son who's quick enough, you've got Kulusevski, or you've got Richarlison. Try and get hold of something. Oh, Virgil van Dijk was too strong for Richarlison, but maybe try something else. Maybe come up against the other centre-back, Konate. But they were just playing into Liverpool's hands. Liverpool wanted that game, and that's exactly what Tottenham gave them. And it was just, you cannot keep doing that. It's just a sign of madness when you keep making the same mistakes.